Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The laughter around the office used to sound harmless, familiar, safe. But that morning, when I walked into the break room and heard it again, soft chuckles dying the moment I entered, it cut through me like glass. Someone's phone screen lit up, faces turned away. The air shifted. My name floated in the silence like smoke. I wasn't supposed to hear it. But I did. She still doesn't know. I froze by the coffee machine, the hum of it masking the thundering in my chest. My hand shook as I poured coffee I didn't want. I used to laugh with these same people about petty office rumors, who was flirting with who was staying late together, but now I was the headline. And I didn't even know why. It started 2 months earlier, maybe longer. Daniel and I had joined the firm around the same time, fresh faces navigating deadlines, shared projects, and late-night pizza in the conference room. He was easy to talk to, sharp humor, steady confidence. We clicked instantly, and soon, people started teasing us. "You two should just get married already," Jenna from HR once joked, smirking over her salad. I had laughed it off. He's married. And so am I. We both were. His wife, Melissa, worked in marketing on another floor. My husband, Aaron, was an architect, sweet, grounded, the kind of man who still left me notes on the fridge. Daniel and I joked about the absurdity of office gossip. We were friends, teammates. Nothing more. Until the friendship began to shift, so slowly I barely noticed. It began with small things. A text late at night, "Hey, did you finish the proposal?" Followed by a smile emoji. Then an inside joke during a meeting, the kind that made everyone else roll their eyes. Then, one night, a message that wasn't about work at all. "You looked really tired today. Don't let them push you too hard." I stared at it longer than I should have. My fingers hovered over the screen before I typed, "Thanks, you too." That was all. But something unspoken had cracked open. I remember the first time I felt it. The shift. He brushed my hand while passing me a file, and it lingered half a second too long. I felt the warmth of his touch pulse all the way up my arm. He didn't apologize. He just looked at me like he was waiting for me to say something that never came. After that, I started noticing things. The way his messages came even when we weren't working on anything urgent. The way my husband's questions, "Rough day," made guilt crawl up my throat even when I'd done nothing wrong. The way I began to choose Daniel's company, because it felt easier than explaining why I felt distant at home. I told myself it was harmless. We hadn't crossed any line. But emotional lines don't make noise when they're crossed, they just disappear quietly behind you. Then came the Friday night party. Our firm was celebrating a major contract win. Music, drinks, laughter. The kind of night that made people forget boundaries. Daniel was there, tie loose, his usual calm replaced by something looser, freer. His wife wasn't. Aaron couldn't make it either, he was working late. At some point, Daniel leaned close and said, "You know, they still talk about us." I smiled nervously. "Let them. We know the truth." He tilted his head. "Do we?" The words lingered between us. Thick, electric. I didn't respond. Someone called his name, and the moment passed, but it didn't fade. Later, I saw him by the elevator, talking to Jenna. She was laughing, hand brushing his arm in that deliberate, too casual way. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself I wasn't jealous. I was. That night, I couldn't sleep. Aaron was beside me, scrolling through his phone. I thought about Daniel's message lighting up my screen earlier that day. "Can't wait to see you tonight." I hadn't deleted it. I should have. 2 weeks later, the whispers began. They stopped when I entered the room. They started again when I left. Even Daniel seemed quieter, distant. His text slowed. His tone shifted from warm to careful. One morning, I found a printed meme on my desk. A cartoon of 2 coworkers flirting at their desks. Underneath, someone had scribbled, "Sound familiar?" I felt my stomach drop. I crumpled it before anyone could see. Daniel wasn't at his desk that day. By lunch, I found out why. He'd been transferred to another branch, Temporarily, they said. A project reassignment. I messaged him, "What's going on?" He replied hours later, "I think it's better this way. For both of us. For both of us." The words burned like acid. I felt sick, confused. And when I went to refill my coffee, I caught 2 coworkers glancing at me, whispering again. That was the moment I realized they knew something I didn't. It took me 3 days to find out. Melissa called me. Daniel's wife. Her voice was calm, detached. "I thought you should know," she said. "You're not the only one he was texting." The world tilted. "What?" She exhaled sharply. "I found messages. With Jenna. Months of them. Pictures." I confronted him. He said it was a mistake. Jenna. The name hit me harder than I expected. Melissa continued, her tone brittle. "I saw your name too. He deleted most of your messages, but I saw enough to wonder. Were you involved?" The room spun. "No," I whispered. "No, it wasn't like that." There was silence on the line, the kind that swallows everything. Then she said, "That's what I told myself too." And hung up. That night, I sat on my kitchen floor, Aaron asleep upstairs, the phone still in my hand. I wasn't the villain of the story. I wasn't the victim either. I'd been standing too close to the fire, laughing about how warm it felt, never realizing I was already burning. By Monday, the gossip had evolved. Now it wasn't just whispers, it was stares. I walked past them, spine straight, pretending not to hear. But I did. Every syllable. She was one of them. Jenna and Daniel. No, she was before Jenna. Before. That word hollowed me out. I wanted to scream, to defend myself, to say nothing happened. But the truth was murkier. I had let it happen, in words, in silence, in stolen glances that meant more than they should have. When Aaron asked me that evening why I seemed distant, I looked at him and saw everything I was about to destroy if I told him. So I lied. Just work stress. He kissed my forehead and said, "You're stronger than you think." Maybe. But I wasn't innocent. A month later, the gossip faded. A new scandal replaced mine. People moved on. But I didn't. I still see Daniel sometimes, on conference calls, across distant screens. He looks tired. Older. Regretful, maybe. Once, I caught his eyes flick toward me. We both looked away. We used to laugh at office gossip together. Now, I know how cruel it feels when laughter stops the moment you enter the room. And I know how it feels to deserve a part of it.